Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can see by the title, you ask and I deliver. Today we're going to be comparing and contrasting the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palettes compared to the brand new Patrick Ta Major Dimension 3 palette. They're very similar palettes and they're both obviously pricey, but today I'm going to tell you guys the differences, which one I like better. We're also going to be doing comparing looks, and I'll also be talking about the formula, so make sure to keep watching if you're interested. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, you know what to do. Please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. I think I have way too much energy today. So, oh wait, let me fix, I wanted the W to be right above the V. You can't even tell. Whatever. We are going to be comparing two palettes that are high-end, and for full disclosure, like, you do not need to spend $50 or $70 on a palette. I am not here trying to influence you to spend the money. I hope that if you are watching my video, it's because you do have the budget, you want to spend the money, it's all good, and I'm going to tell you guys which one to spend the money on if you want to. Nobody is telling you guys to go buy these palettes, okay? Obviously, I like them though. So, I have had the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette for a couple months now, and I love it. And as you guys can see, I'm obviously a neutral girly. So, as soon as the Patrick Ta came out, I really thought about buying it, but I was like, I shouldn't. But my birthday just happened, so I was like, okay, I'll get it for myself for my birthday. I have already used it a couple times as well, so I could give you guys like a good review. First, we're going to talk about details. Like, I'm going to tell you guys the prices, the amount of shades, all that jazz. If you guys just want to see them side by side in the swatches, then just skip a couple minutes in this video. But for those of you that want to know like the bang for your buck, I'm here to do that for you guys, okay? Alrighty, so let's start out with the Makeup by Mario. So this is $50, and it is called the Makeup by Mario Master Matte Eyeshadow Palette. Obviously, it is all matte, and you do get 12 different shades from a white to a black and everything in between. It's described as a universal must-have matte palette formulated to be easily buildable so that you can go from natural to dramatic without causing fallout. So it does contain 12 1-gram eyeshadow pans, so you do get 12 grams of product total. And yeah, I really like it. It does come in a very like small and sleek packaging. This is so easy for travel, and it also comes with a mirror that doesn't go all the way back, and it's a really great mirror to get ready. And again, here is the palette for your viewing pleasure. You're paying $4.16 per shadow. Okay, now let's move over to the Patrick Ta. So the Patrick Ta is called the Major Dimensions 3 Matte Eyeshadow Palette. It is $70. It is described as a velvety matte eyeshadow palette that blends with warm and cool tones for the ultimate versatility. It does have matte finish eyeshadows as well as 2 cream finish eyeshadows, like literally creams. And this palette comes with 10 matte shadows that are 1.8 grams, so almost double the size as the Makeup by Mario, and it does come with the 2 cream shades that are 0.85 grams of cream. So let's just do the math for the amount of actual product you get, not just like the matte eyeshadows, if that makes sense. So total, you get 21.7 grams of product. You are paying $3.22 per eyeshadow. This is what it looks like. It's like it's a lot bigger compared to this one, as you guys can see. Like travel wise, this is probably the way to go, but this is like the difference. And then this one also has a really great mirror. This one actually does go all the way back, but you can sit it up straight. And then, as Patrick Ta likes to do with the creams, he does put a little door right here, so you will never hopefully get a bunch of powder over the creams. I know that this is kind of hard to see with the lights. I did go ahead and do some swatches for you guys. So I took some pictures and videos outside in the direct sunlight, as well as in my house just in front of a window. So these are both natural lighting. What I did notice is that there are a lot of shades that are the same. Keep in mind, we only have 10 mattes on the Patrick Ta to compare to the Master Mattes. The 3 shades that we don't get in the Patrick Ta that we do get in this one are kind of like the yellow toned shades. this shade I can't find a dupe for, this one and this one, which this is like my go-to crease shade on this. So it was kind of sad that I couldn't find this one. And then as you guys can see in like the pictures, it just seems like the main difference, of course, other than like the cream formulas, is that the Master Mattes actually has more of a yellow undertone with some of these warm tones, and it doesn't actually have that many cool tones. Definitely the cool tones are more a little like more neutral rather than like super cool tone. And then the Patrick Ta one does have like half cool tone, half warm tones, but the warm tones, as you guys can see, lean more reddish rather than olivey yellow. And so that's what I've noticed the main difference is. Those are all the details, everything like that. Let's go ahead and put this on our face. For full disclosure, I did already pick out a bunch of eyeshadow brushes that are very similar, but obviously we're not going to be using the same eyeshadow brush on each side. I understand that I did already do my go-to look in my last video, so I'm so sorry for like the repetition, but I have to do my go-to look again because that's what I always do with this palette, and so I feel like that'd be the best way for me to like compare the two formulas. So I apologize, but it's a beautiful look, so you should definitely recreate it. So I will say, I always use this shade for my crease or this one, but now we don't have like an equivalent to this one, so I guess we will see what to do. I'm just gonna do, I don't know, I think I'm overthinking it. Let me clip my hair back. I'm overthinking it right now. Obviously, like, the main point of this video is to tell you guys which palette is probably like worth your money, in my opinion. But who cares about my opinion, right? No, I'm just kidding. That's why you guys are here. Okay, 1 second, I can't find my clip. I feel like I look like a little girl in the playground. All right. So, let me fix my camera. Okay, I'm so excited. This side is going to be Patrick Ta. I'm leaving the palette here. This side's gonna be Makeup by Mario. First, we're gonna start out with the Patrick Ta, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here. Okay, that's gonna be really hard. I'll just put it on the screen. And we're gonna put that all over the crease with a fluffy brush. The one I'm using right now is the Laura Lee number 4. It's a Laura Lee and Lunar Beauty collab, by the way. All right, and that's what that looks like. Obviously, we're just doing like a faint little crease right now. Then going in with the Master Mattes, I'm gonna go in with the shade, this one right here, because I think it's like the closest one we can find, and I'm going to be using another Laura Lee brush. It's the L36 brush. Alrighty guys, so even though they do look different swatched, as you guys can see on the eyes, they actually look pretty similar, so far so good. So going into the Patrick Ta palette with a smaller fluffy brush, I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is just a darker and warmer version of it, and I'm just going to put it on the outer corner and as well as a little bit under the crease. And then going in with the Master Mattes palette, I'm going to grab this shade right here, which, you know, is the most similar one, and then doing the same exact thing. So far I don't notice too much of a difference of like on the eye. The only thing, like myself, it's I'm just blending out the Master Matte one a little bit longer. Patrick Ta blends out very, very easily, but as you guys can see, this is already looking a little bit darker. So I do think that the Patrick Ta one is pigmented, but it's a little bit like on the softer side, as you guys can see, and it just blends very easily because it's a little bit more of like a buttery formula, but I will say there is more kickback. Moving on, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of a cool tone. So with a smaller brush, I'm going to grab this shade right here, and I'm going to mainly focus it on the outer corner as well. I'm just kind of doing like a little C shape. Then on the Master Mattes, again, a smaller brush, we are going to grab this shade right here and do the exact same thing on the outer corner. What I'm noticing is that because the Makeup by Mario takes a little bit longer to blend, it's like a blessing and a curse, because see how this is just like way more concentrated pigment where I want it, and this just looks more diffused. The Patrick Ta is blending out in 2 seconds, but it's also not staying as concentrated in the color that I want as the Makeup by Mario. But the Makeup by Mario is taking a little bit longer to blend. I'm going to go back to the Patrick Ta just to deepen out this outer corner so that it matches with the master mattes. You know, all these things that I'm saying are not as necessarily like pros and cons. I'm just kind of like thinking out loud so that you guys can kind of decide like what works better for you. Next, we're going to go into the bright whites and creams. So I'm going to grab a little small flat brush, and I'm going to go into the shade, the white shade, and put that on the lid, on the inner corner part of the lid. All right, and now we're going to do the exact same thing with the white in the master mattes. All right, as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but the Patrick Ta has a little bit of like a brighter, kind of like a blue tone, cool tone white, and then the master mattes is still bright and white, but it's a little bit more on like a warmer white, almost like a very, very, very light cream. This is definitely more of a true white, the Patrick Ta. And then with a bigger flat brush, I'm gonna grab the cream shade on the Patrick Ta and put that on the lid. Just grabbing a random brush and just blending out the excess like that. And then again, we're gonna do the exact same thing with the creamier shade, which I will say in the master mattes, it's a little bit more of a peach rather than a yellow. This is just a little bit of like a warmer, it's just a warmer eyeshadow palette in general, and this one is more of like either cool tone or red tone. And now we're gonna add a little bit of liner. So I'm first going to grab a little flat brush, and I'm just going to grab the black, and I'm only going to stamp it on the lash line. I'm not going to be using the creams today just because we can't really compare them on, you know, with each other. Obviously, the creams are such a cool idea because you can like create more of like a smudge liner or something like that. But I don't want to use it today because, you know, we don't have a smudge liner. And then I'm going to grab a little like a little bullet brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that black shadow as like a very small diffused type of wing on the outer corner. Love that. Okay, and now let's go back to the Makeup by Mario. So again, we're gonna grab a flat brush and use it to line our lash line. And again, we're gonna do the pencil brush for the wing. Fun fact that I'm starting to realize right now, I think I prefer the black in the master mattes. Just because, I don't know what it is, I feel like the formula overall in the Patrick Ta is really nice and like buttery and blendable, but you know, sometimes with a black shade, you don't want it to be too buttery and blendable and powdery because sometimes it's like harder to work. Let me get my thoughts together. With the Makeup by Mario, remember how I said you can kind of keep the shade in a concentrated area? I kind of like that with dark shades because like I feel like this eyeliner side is a lot more precise rather than this one. So we're gonna do what we did on the other side and build it up again just to try to match the other side. So obviously, like, I'm showing you guys some of the differences, but I'm also trying to show you guys to see if you can still achieve the same look with just building up or taking away, just different techniques. With a small fluffy brush, I'm gonna go back to that crease shade one more time and just diffuse anything we have on the crease. With my flat brush, I'm gonna grab the cream shade and I'm going to put it under the brow bone. This is how I like to highlight, and also it's a way to like clean up your shadow work if it comes up a little bit too high. Don't you guys love makeup? It's just funny because we're sitting here comparing two eyeshadow palettes that are $50 and $70 and they look the same, and I'm like, but this is different. And I just think it's so funny because like obviously like you want to know what to spend your money on. I just feel like if I told my husband like what video I was filming today, he'd be like, huh? But this is like our hobby. This is our passion. This is what we like. I'm not like making fun of you or me. I'm just saying that it's funny to have a hobby like this, but have such a big community that cares about these things. Okay, so that is what the eyes look like. I think they look stunning. I think that if you like didn't know that I used two palettes, you probably wouldn't know. Let's quickly just finish the lower lash line. Start out with the crease shade again, and we're just going to put that from inner to outer corner. I'm going to grab this shade and only put it on the outer corner. And then again, we're going to grab the crease shade and bringing it from inner to outer corner. And believe it or not, I actually have the same brush. Look, you guys. Same exact brush. This little brush is amazing. It's the BK Beauty A504. It's the tiniest blending brush and it's amazing. And I'm grabbing that cool tone brown shade and putting it on the outer corner. Here is a quick look at our work. Aside from the eyeshadow palettes, I really hope that you guys recreate this look because it's my go-to look for everything. I'm gonna go ahead and just add some mascara and inner corner highlight. I'm not gonna add anything else, maybe just a little liner up here. And I'll be right back and I will have my final thoughts for you guys, okay? Be right back. Makeup is done and hair is looking crazy. If you guys are interested, because I will say, the lashes are lashing. So I'm wearing the Lancome Idole mascara, and then on top of it, Jones Road mascara on top, and then the lip combo is the, you guys already know, Morphe Soulmate in Dearest, and then the Hard Candy Boyfriend lip liner, just a brown lip liner that I put on top. Let me tell you guys my final thoughts, because I have a lot of thoughts, because these are very similar and expensive palettes that are also stunning in their own right. The thing that I love more about Mario's compared to Patrick Ta is, number one, even though it's not as like luxurious, I do travel a lot, and so I do love how travel friendly and compact this is, and I still think that the shades are like big enough to where you don't run out right away. I also love that this is actually leaning more towards warmer and olivey and yellowy tones. Personally, I do prefer those type of warm shades. I also like that whenever you do put a shadow on it, even though it takes a little bit longer to blend, it does stay exactly where you put it, so it's a lot better for like precision. The things that I like more about the Patrick Ta palette is that I actually really do love how easy, blendable, buttery these shades are. When you're doing something quick, these blend out so easily. They blend out like a dream, and they are super pigmented. I do love how luxurious the packaging is, and I also love how you do get those two cream shades, because this is so nice to have in a palette for an eyeliner moment, a smudgy moment, even a base moment when you want to do a smoky eye. I also do like how he did put the cool tones and the warm tones separated. It kind of makes it easier for someone, just for the eye, just to like know where to go next. So I actually really appreciate both palettes. Now, obviously there is a $20 difference, but I will say the shadows are bigger here, and it does come with two creams. I think that if you prefer more warm tones and yellowy tones, and you don't have a hard time blending eyeshadow, or maybe you have a little bit more skill, I think that you would really like this palette. Also for like makeup artists, it's so travel friendly, again, to put in your kit, and I'm sure you can like work with these eyeshadows. They're not hard to work. I'm just saying, like, the Patrick Ta is definitely more for like beginners, and this one doesn't have a bunch of fallout. It still does, but it doesn't have a bunch of fallout. And then the Patrick Ta, I think, is just a little bit more beginner friendly. It does have a little bit of like kickback. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my palette is dusty. And so here are my final thoughts. If you're not going to use these two cream shadows, then just get the Master Mattes. But if you do like the idea of having these two cream shadows, I think you should get this one. If you don't care about the cream shadows and you just want like an matte palette that is easy to use, travel friendly, then get this one. I think that if you already have the Master Mattes, I don't think you need to buy this one, to be honest. Obviously, that's what happened to me. I already had the Master Mattes, but I just wanted to review this for you guys as well. If I didn't have either of these, knowing what I know now, I would buy the Patrick Ta, because the only thing that I don't love about it is that it has more reddish tones of the warm tones, but I like to use bronzer on my crease, and so I can easily use the bronzer as my transition shade and then keep using this palette. I don't know, there's something about this formula that is just so easy to use, so blendable, so luxe. Even though it's not the best for traveling compared to the other one, I do like that this comes with it. And so overall, I think I personally would purchase the Patrick Ta. But if you already have the Mario, I think you're completely fine with the Mario. You definitely do not need this one. Hope that helps. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. I still think both sides look exactly the same, as you guys can see. So yeah, I will link both of these below. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if you guys need my opinion on anything else, but super impressed with both of these palettes. I definitely think that they're both amazing. I love Patrick Ta. I love Makeup by Mario. You can't go wrong with buying from like makeup artists. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!